And that's what golf's so special about golfing in general, is it allows people who are competitive to have something for a while.
So you can start this at 20 and play it till you're 80, you know, and get out there and still enjoy the game.
There's scratch golfers that I know that are in their 70s and they started when they were 50 and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
That's neat.
All, like you said, all shapes and sizes, any time. It's great.
I think the other thing about golf that's so cool is like you can't perfect it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no perfection of this game. Like there's no perfect score. You can always do something better.
Yeah.
You know? And I really like that about the game because it's just like it's almost like you're giving in to like I'm never going to perfect this, so there's less pressure there, you know, and you can just focus on improving as long as you're moving forward.
It's also the frustrating thing is you can be as good as they come and get the shanks one day, and then you're like, what the hell's happening?
How did I hosel rocket that thing? Oh. Or when you putt and you somehow hit the ground first, and you're like.
And then, you know, the contrary, the best shots that you'll ever hit, the ones that keep you coming back kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, that felt so good.
I'll be back next week to chase that.
There's that age-old saying, it's like, if you can find a job where you don't feel like you have to work a day in your life, then that's the best job.
Exactly.
My dad's framed it differently for me, where it's like, find something you're good at and then find a way to make money doing it.
Okay.
That's something you like doing.
Yeah.
And that was just always my mindset. And
Totally.
So
you figured out you're good at golf, and you're like, all right, I could help people get
better.
But
I really think that if anyone puts the time in, anyone can be good at golf.
The only reason I'm not below average at golf is just because I practiced a lot. It's
Exactly.
just reps. It's really just reps.
I completely agree.
Lovely.
Short of it, in it. It definitely was humbling the back nine.
Yeah,
which is good. That's what you need. That's how you keep coming back and you keep kind of practicing and getting better.
It shows you what you need to practice. I highlighted all of our shortcomings. I mean, I had a lot of shortcomings. Driver, the irons, putter. Creating a challenge for us.
What do you mean? I hit it in the bunker. We're equal in this.
I don't know if I got past the ladies' tee. What do you like practicing the most?
Chipping.
Yeah, really? Short game chipping, okay.
Everyone sees it differently. And so everyone's going to have a different type of chip shot. And it's all the different things you can do with it. I think that's really where you also gain a lot of strokes or take off a lot of strokes, depending how you look at it.
Practicing the short game too is like one of those things where, you know, if you are comfortable with your wedges, it translates to the irons too, because you're not so much like nervous about if I hit it, you know, short, I've lost a stroke. It's like I can up and down from
like
there.
this, like how we don't care if we're in the bunker because you don't.
Who's we? I mean,
we got 170. The wind's pretty damp. I don't know if that's a way to describe wind.
I knew what you meant. It was a good descriptive word. It is damp, isn't it? Hell yeah. Trying to cut back.
Yeah, just did it.
Oh, short, okay. Nice.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
This tree is completely in my way.
Nah, it's not even, not gonna touch it.
Yeah.
See? Yes. Oh, yes.
Got right through.
It went right through. Oh. Aiden, make sure you get that.
I called it. Just how I drew it up.
Not even there. I'll get you a rig.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just get breaks, you know?
That's literally golf. You said you were screwed. I wasn't, because bunker shots always cut out of bunkers. I had the one and it never did. And then you just, right to the tree. A saint, a true saint.
There's a lot of randomness with golf, which is, you know, partly like a little frustrating because it's just completely out of your control.
It's completely, and I don't know if you've seen those videos of like people rolling putts with one of those like devices, and they roll the 3 putts and they roll differently.
Yes, oh yeah.
I mean, sometimes it like putts that we think we pulled or pushed, it's just we did it.
It's just a bit of randomness, yeah, the variability.
Look at you, dude. You're an animal.
All day, yeah, that was a lucky shot. But you know what?
You paid your dues.
Yeah, sometimes the bad break I got a couple holes ago, whatever, it all evens out.
Exactly.
You just like think about getting bad breaks all the time, you're gonna get bad breaks.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna get a lot of bad breaks.
Like, I always go back to basketball because that's what I had before golf, and it was, if you don't think you're gonna make it, you won't make it.
Yeah, you got no chance of making the free throw. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do, it's all about how you do it.
Wow, yeah, that's great. Yeah, it really isn't what you do, but yeah, how you do it and having the right attitude, having the right approach to it. You know, if you're going with a crappy attitude, you're gonna get a bad result.
Yeah,
you're gonna get a bad result if you go in there.
And also, people around you won't want to work with you.
Nobody's gonna
be around you. Yeah,
totally.
Oh, it's a good look too.
Oh yeah, we're birdie odds all day. It's cool to hear that you have the self-awareness to be like, I need to be tolerable.
I mean, and there's a reason behind it too. Like, it just didn't come naturally. I'm a big proponent. It's like, in the things that kind of happen in your life really shape you. And so the reason that I have so much self-awareness is because of bullying in my childhood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And just because of the teasing and the things, and not having the self-confidence to stand up for myself, it really just made me feel like how your actions really affect others.
Wow. So you had that exposure, but from like
exactly. And then being able to turn that into a positive and have it shape myself and really not have, thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool.
And people have had it worse than me, but it's just being how you take what you're given and then react to it.
Ooh, good try. Good par.
From Kobe, it's like whenever you had those clutch shots, it's like you got to be okay with the misses just as much as the mix.
Yeah.
And so it goes back to that. It's like you got to be okay with both of them if you want to do it at a high level.
Very true.
From being 180 out or 170 out in a bunker to having a birdie putt, I think we will take that. We're fine there.
Just the look is enough for me. That was a seriously lucky shot. I can't even call it a good shot. That was like that was a sick shot though.
That was.
The shot trace will be interesting. I'll do a little.
Our traces are going to be lovely to watch. I mean, like, how they not use that, and then you're going to see yours go through a tree. That is golf. This is showing you what like 5 to 10 handicap golf looks like.
Yeah. That's really like, going back to the randomness, like, that's one of the things that I like so much about golf is like, some of it's just out of your control, and you can do the wrong thing and get the right result.
Yeah.
And do the right thing and get the wrong result.
Exactly.
And, like, I've, in so many scenarios in like outside of golf, like with work or whatever, you're like, I did everything right. Something went wrong, whatever. And then you get frustrated with it, you get mad at yourself and whatever. Like, the lesson of sometimes it's out of your control, and just focus on what you can control. And if you do that, then you've done your job. Like, it gives a lot of peace to things where
I completely agree. The one thing I learned that Tiger Woods always said was he has 10 seconds to be mad at himself.
Oh, nice.
So it's not always that you can't show your emotion and you can't be mad, just like in life.
Right.
In terms of like the right healthy way of thinking and dealing with emotions is letting your emotions actually play out, but just not dwelling on them and not making your future decision making based on your emotions.
That's a great point.
Yeah, and so really, again, it's another golf and life thing. It's so transferable.
The ruminating on the same mistake, right? That's like when you really get into like a more negative headspace, right? You feel like just beating yourself up over something that's
exactly.
It's not only has it already happened, you can't do anything about it. You're just like, and it's really like not. It's out of a good place. Your brain or your body is doing it to avoid making that same mistake again, right? But that's not the most productive way of avoiding that mistake, So just acceptance, accepting that sometimes things don't go well.
Exactly.
And just focusing on the next swing, right? Do what you can on the next swing.
Yeah, what's in your control. Like when you talk about chipping and things like that, it's like a lot of things in my lesson, it's like, well, you can't have high expectations for this shot because the lie doesn't suit it. You can't hit a good shot here. Like your goal was 10 feet, not 1 foot.
Right.
And so kind of having that balance with expectations also sets up how you feel afterwards. If you don't hit your driver on a sheet of paper out in a fairway every time, then how can you be mad if one drifts right or left?
Right, yeah. Like 100%. Yeah, it's having realistic expectations, for how you're gonna play. Like I'm realistic. If I thought I was gonna try to shoot the course record, I'd be pissed off because I'm like, I'm 15 strokes off of this bad boy, But if I'm like, I'm gonna try to break 80 and I fall 1 stroke short, I'm like, well, I was close. If I did this, and this different, it's there next time.
And that's where Arcos kind of comes into play, where you can see.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the same thing with life, like with business for me, like one huge lesson I've learned is like managing clients' expectations. If you try to like sell them on like you can do everything, you can, you know, give them the world for free, anything short of that is going to be disappointing. And then you're fighting an uphill battle of like, how do I prove that I'm worth what I've said I was? Mm-hmm. You know, so it's like managing that, you know, being realistic, not underselling yourself, but being conservative with your goals. Like if we said we were going to shoot a 66, there would have been pressure. You know? There would have been way more pressure. We might have done that. We're on pace to do that, but you know, having a little less pressure maybe gives us a better look at that. So
exactly. And then, like you said, like all day, it's a balance, because you said you love setting goals, and having achievable goals but that are still aggressive is so important. Like it's so important.
Yeah, I tend to stretch myself. I tend to spread myself thin, you know, like with my time, with everything. You know, I'm aggressive goal setting and aggressive with how much I can spend my time. And, you know, I find that I do maybe like over promise to myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And then all of a sudden I'm juggling everything. Yeah, it's like, it's a very subtle thing that if you're not like paying attention to, it'll get away from you.
100%, yeah. Like you talked about working out before.
Right.
And so with how little time I have during the golf season, my mindset is when I have a day off, like once a month, that's when I go to work out. And it's like, oh, it doesn't seem like much, like, but I'm just trying to stay healthy and feel good.
Right.
I'm not really
Stay
trying
loose,
to, And then like my fiance, she's arguably out of the house more than I am because she works in the city in New York. Okay. And she was like, I want to work out every day again. And I'm like, how are you going to do that?
When?
Exactly,
Where are you gonna
exactly.
fit that into your schedule?
And so it's kind of like that balance of realistic goals too, and understanding what you can do.
Dude, that's it. Like, because your girlfriend or your fiance is going to be now, you know, if she's like, I want to go 5 days a week. And if she goes 4, that's still 4 times as many workouts as you.
Yeah.
But she didn't get to her goal, and so she may not feel good about that.
Exactly.
You know? We set a goal initially, +2 on the front, +2 on the back. Try to do +4 on the day. We started off hot. You know, no warm-ups. We didn't go to the range. We had a couple putts and then just got out there. First hole birdie. We were 9 holes in, -3, right? And then it kind of came back to reality. What were you thinking after 9 holes? Were you surprised at how well we were playing?
I think that is reality. I think the front 9 is reality. The back 9 is fantasy. Yeah, no, or a bad fantasy rather.
Yeah, nightmare.
Yeah. I'm just pissed. So I still haven't gotten all of one, but that'll play just fine.
How much did you miss by? Because that was really funny.
I missed the center of the club.
Did you? Oh wow.
It's okay. That's like the high expectations. I wouldn't say unless the person I'm playing with is good. Try not to be like that guy.
Right. Oh, I missed it by a millimeter. Yeah. I get it though. I mean, if you're not catching the center and you're still doing that though.
That's thanks to the ping driver.
Dude, you hit the ball nice and straight.
Thanks. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Which driver's that?
It's the G430.
Oh, 430. Okay. All right. Let's let her rip. Yeah.
No, I felt confident. I felt like we were just playing our game, and that's how I expected to go. We hit a couple approach shots closer than what we might have expected, which makes the birdies easier. But I think that's what I was more expecting. I'm coming in, whenever I play scrambles, I'm coming off a win of a scramble in a charity event.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. We were 1,700. That was pretty sweet. That's so no, I was expecting to go low.
This thing's, it's like every hole's getting a little more out of control feeling.
But this is just, it really shows our areas that we need to, like if you could hit the ball like I could off the tee, and if I could have your just consistent putting, like the viewers will see how inconsistent it is. And on the course of my round that I'll play, like that's the reason why I'm not shooting under.
That's where you're losing strokes.
Yeah.
Really?
Is because like I'll have a 3-putt and it's like, well, that should have been a birdie. And it's not the +1 versus a -1.
Right. It's a big swing.
Yeah, exactly.
And even a +1 over a par, like it's a momentum killer too.
Yeah, it really is. Especially when you're trying to fight those, because like we're trying to be like a couple over par.
Yeah.
Or
every
even
stroke is like,
yeah. Or it makes up for your mistakes. Like you can have a couple bogeys if you make a couple putts.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we said right at the beginning of the round, right?
Yeah.
Good putting masks a lot of mistakes. Nothing can mask bad putting, which is kind of the scary part. Flags all the way at the back. You got 296 on that drive.
Hey.
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it.
I'm going off to here. It's 50.
You go first on this one.
You got it. You got it. Yeah, man, I see that. I think you're going to do really well in that position.
I hope so, and it's really just like understanding that you learn more from your mistakes.
I mean, I'm a big proponent of trying to search for lessons in every scenario, whether it's a big win or a big loss, or you made a mistake. You just go, how do I not do that next time? or why did I do what I did that caused this outcome? Like reflecting on it and just trying to say, how can I improve?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't complain there.
Oh, go in. Go in.
All day. That was awesome. Having that exercise, is something that not a lot of people have. Honestly, a lot of people look for the excuse first.
Exactly.
Rather than to go, what did I do wrong?
They're not comfortable messing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's funny you mentioned that. They're not comfortable messing up. Being comfortable with discomfort is what I've found to be that space where growth happens.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a good amount of kind of, younger people in the golf industry.
It does help that the title is nice. Like it's fun to say to people when you meet them.
Yeah. Especially like guys our age, and you tell them you're like, you work in golf. Everybody thinks that's sick, Everybody thinks that's sick.
It is, and it's as cool as it sounds. Like,
yeah, and it actually
try to stay humble.
But you got a good job. Dude, that's a nice feeling. That's a real nice feeling.
Yeah.
I'll count this one out for you. 1, 2.
Does not break. And
Oh no. The flag was with the weds.
All right, does not break as much as I thought. Plus, I hammered it. So.
It feels like me putting the flag right there feels like a total like rookie move. I didn't think
we're
we
not
were gonna hit
expecting to
it.
hammer it by 5 feet. So sit.
I did the same thing. I ripped it.
We'll use yours for official purposes.
Yeah. Hey Aiden, if you don't mind getting this shot behind so that we can see the ball go into the hole. I like that. This is our biggest test yet, actually. This is par putt. And I mashed that thing.
Oh, dude, shut up.
Ooh, pressure's on now.
Oh.
I got this. I like this putt actually, even with his shadow. Dead straight. That was a good roll.
It was a good roll.
That's a bogey. Just that putt.
Yeah, I think
the first
it was
putt.
just speed.
All right, hey, what are you gonna do? Give one back. You want a Reese's?
Yeah, I'll take
sugar
one. Yeah.
refuel? When I was probably 10 or 12 years old, I took a snowboarding lesson.
Nice.
And the guy had little Snickers, snack-sized Snickers bars. There you go.
Thanks, man.
You want to switch too?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only reason Aiden's here.
He was like, this one girl was just crying because she was cold and stuff. And he broke out the Snickers, fun size, gave it to her, and it was like a little sugar boost. And he was talking to one of the other instructors, and he's like, I always carry these because, kids get all sad when they get cold and wet. And this little sugar boost always helps them out for like a half hour, get them to the bottom of the mountain. Yeah, pretty smart. And it's stuck with me. Ever since I was 12 years old, I've always been like, a little like sugar boost, 30 minutes, it gives you something.
Yeah, those spots that we missed. It's like, oh, how do we hit it so hard?
What was I looking at with that read? I think a little bit of it was I started getting a little hungry. So
that's actually something. Whenever I'm hungry or tired, I start to sway, and I always start hitting it bad. Yeah, so hitting balls after work or something.
Yeah.
Can hit him worse.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a sugar boost. It kind of, we saw it, but then it faded. Those last 3 holes.
We needed more candy.
We needed another Twix or a Reese's or something. I remember starting off just feeling so much pressure, like to not hold people up.
Yeah.
Because you just hacking up the course, just hacking up the fairway 30 yards at a time.
Exactly. exactly. Especially because my he's someone who takes 3 practice swings before he hits the ball.
Oh, yeah?
So he's a quick player, but not the fastest in the world, that's for sure. And so learning a game from him, it's...
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah. He definitely taught me a lot, but there's some things that I definitely taught myself too.
Your dad has been playing for a while?
He's one of those people, kind of like you, started in his like mid-ish 20s. Right after college, he had a friend that got him into it.
In order for the next 5 years to be successful for you, what would you like to see happen?
Just growth of myself. Like I kind of know the areas that I want to get better. I think the one thing in anything is that once you stop learning, then you stop evolving and you just stop being a good teacher or good at anything you do.
Yeah.
And
especially, right?
So I just keep learning the golf swing different ways, as well as being a good manager, trying to like in terms of all the staff that I oversee and just kind of growing in that. I mean, I'm a younger person, 26, and I'm kind of managing some like 60, 70-year-olds.
That's interesting.
And so it's just an interesting dynamic to earn their trust and kind of be able to rely on them and have some sort of authority with them without it feeling that way.
That's not an easy thing to do.
It isn't.
Getting over that age gap.
Yeah, and then communication's a big area for me. Like it's getting better with that.
You got your right head on your shoulders.
Yeah.
If communication's a priority to anybody, then
exactly. But like
track.
just knowing you have places to grow and you're not perfect, it always makes you strive forward. And it also kind of coincides with how I want to get better at what I do every day.
That's awesome.
It's fun. Yeah.
It kind of all like translates and points to the same thing, and the communication really supports you getting better at your job in all the roles you know.
Yeah,
have.
I do notice being more genuine there's a lot more leeway there.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because
you mean with reference to like talking to
in terms of all my flaws, all of them. In terms like if you're genuine and you say like, this is what I expect out of you, but I make mistakes too, and so understanding that everyone makes mistakes and kind of understanding that and kind of knowing that they can trust me and I'll take blame for them and stuff like that. It goes a long way in terms of
being a real person.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not something a lot of managers do. This weird thing of like
trying to have that authority
buffer,
and kind of you should be scared of me. And when I walk around, it's like nah, I want it to be a family.
That's sick. And you see that is working, right? You're applying that. And
there's some downfalls too, where it's like when you're that lenient, then people will kind of take advantage. But in those scenarios, you kind of just have to deal with them as they come, and not really make all your decisions based on that.
Right. That's one skill that, man, is it's like something you absolutely cannot learn until you do
experience.
You just need experience with leadership. I mean, any sort of management or leadership roles,
and guidance is huge too. Like having really good mentors right now in my stage of my career is amazing. I have 2 people I could go to with any question, anything, whether that's about the golf swing, about golf management, in terms of it's just anything.
Life,
and it just feels exactly that. Yeah,
that's invaluable. Having people like that in your life is like. It makes life better. That's for damn
sure. Exactly.
It makes work better. It makes everything more tolerable.
A lot less stress.
When you're dealing with good people, right? It makes everything easier.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, got a little 5-iron. Not much wind. I'm going middle of the green.
Love it.
I'd love to hit the middle of the green here. That'd be sick. Okay. Okay, little leak.
Catch a piece.
I'm mad about that. Get up. Money shot.
Yeah, distance-wise.
Yeah. Good strike.
We're all due for him eventually.
He is human. That was the first missed strike of the day.
Yeah, it was.
I'll get the sand for you.
Thank you. Thanks, brother.
Yeah. No problem. So I have this idea or concept that I always remind myself about.
Yeah.
Momentum. You know, I'm always thinking about momentum and doing things on a consistent basis to try to build momentum. And I have this I guess awareness of when something happens that is a momentum killer, right? Like when you get into an argument with somebody and it's it kind of gets in the way of something.
Love that.
You know, and if you are thinking about maintaining your momentum, it's almost like you're always thinking of something to be to keep you to moving forward and to build off of it. So you, instead of going like with your girlfriend, for example, or your fiance, I should say, 5 days a week going to the gym, instead of being I want to go 5 days, if you just go, I'm going to go to the gym, you know, and every time I do go, going to focus on how good the workout was.
Yeah.
And then the next time I go, I'm going to think about the last workout, and I'm going to build on that. And even if it's only one more rep, in one exercise, like you see yourself improving, and you can look at that improvement as like a building block for like building confidence, really.
So it's just a different way of looking at success in a way.
Yeah. So it's rather than having outcome-based success, have it be like success based on the input,
Yeah.
And as long as you're inputting it, you are succeeding, and the outcome will eventually, make its way to reality.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, because then like it translates to golf perfectly, like with this, like, and
the ebbs and flows of the game and how it kind of affects the mindset.
Yeah. Like we just had a bogey on that last hole, and that is a little bit of a momentum killer, but we got a chance right now to, even it up, This is a tough shot. If we can hit this is a momentum boost.
Great. Oh, momentum's something that that's a big takeaway from today.
Point. Yeah.
Big takeaway from today.
Cool. I recommend to anybody watching this, try to apply momentum to whatever concepts that you're struggling with. For me, patience is something that like I am absolutely going to remind myself next time, like, am I going to kill the momentum by being impatient? And if I can help it, carry that momentum along for 3 or 5 more minutes till it subsides, and then we didn't.
And even on your day-to-day of momentum, like if you just complete a task, because I'm big into making lists because I'm a very forgetful person.
Same. I have lists.
Yeah, and so if I'm carrying momentum, I can knock out 3 of those tasks off the list, and then be okay with maybe a little lull of momentum, knowing it's going to to come back because of the patience. Yeah.
Patience also benefits the momentum.
That's what you said. That clicked with me. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Identifying what will be a momentum killer. Just that action in itself is actually a momentum sustainer.
God, dude.
That's very cool.
That's really, yeah, you hit it. Yeah.
I like that. I hope some people can comprehend what we're talking about and apply it to their own, challenges. Because I think that's a pretty.
And as we're talking, it might come off like I feel like I'm perfect and I have all this experience, but in no way am I. Yeah, exactly.
No, and just to preempt this
there are plenty of mistakes that we make and everything, and that's where we get to today. But it's the mindset that we have that makes those mistakes feel smaller and that we can learn from them still.
Absolutely. Yeah. The mistakes don't define us.
Yes.
The mistakes are just checkpoints along the way for where we learned a little, or we had an opportunity to learn a little lesson and hopefully took something away from it.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Little short.
Stuff. Yeah.
But we carried it.
Sit. Oh, okay. Lovely.
Yeah.
You got safe play, normal play, and then my play, aggressive. You can be active and be healthy without a gym.
Okay.
And so, Herschel Walker is someone that I look at.
Oh, okay.
Because, his whole thing was he didn't go to a gym ever.
That's
he just
right.
did push-ups and sit-ups and chased a train. And so that's what I do when I'm really busy is I'll just try to do a couple push-ups, couple sit-ups.
Cool.
I don't know the exact name for it, but it's really good to use your own body weight and have that stability.
Right.
And so just doing those kind of body weight training is really, really good.
For sure.
And it also is less of a barrier in order, like for someone who doesn't have that much time.
Yeah.
So even like going out and golfing and walking instead of riding, that's a great way to stay active.
Great tip. Yeah, cool.
and still be able to feel good about yourself. How you look has really nothing to do with it. That's all whatever you feel about yourself.
Totally, yeah.
It's all about how you feel doing it and how your body feels.
Right.
Like right now, I'm not the most in shape physically, but I feel great. And that's really what matters to me at this point.
You like 60 yards?
Yeah, 40 to 60 yards is pretty money for me.
Like it's not all about appearance and having big muscles and abs and all that stuff. It's not about that.
Fit.
Yeah, that's just like the small 3% of people that go to the gym and have the time to do that,
six-pack,
and that's what they're going for.
Right.
That's not what everyone wants, and that's not what everyone needs. I'll meet you up there.
Okay, I got your clubs.
Awesome. And understand, if you have anxiety about a fear of missing out, and so I had that, and I ended up figuring out that it ended up being because I thought that I wasn't a vital part to my group and that they could easily have a good time without me. And that's kind of what it stemmed down to because of the exclusion of being bullied as a kid.
Sure.
And so understanding that my friends were my friends and they cared about me, and that I can miss a couple times and it wouldn't change a thing, was really, really wide eye-opening for me. And then going back to sleep, I now feel like if I have to, I can sleep instead of going out, and then it makes my physical health better, and because my mental health is better. Really, perspective is the biggest thing, because your mind can race.
Having the ability to separate yourself from your thoughts and go, this is my brain trying to keep me alive. This isn't my brain trying to, keep me healthy.
Yeah, and it took a while, but that deeper understanding is why I'm able to have this kind of broader, kind of viewpoint of all this.
We're doing the best we can. That's all we can ask for. You're trying out there. I'm trying.
I think we could do better.
You're not happy with the bogey train.
No.
I get that.
But at the same time, it's not the end of my life.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not even like we're playing against, one of our friends where we want to win really bad.
Exactly. There's just no money on the line. If we shoot an 80 versus a 60, it meant no difference in our lives.
It doesn't even really add much to the overall production quality. Like if we shoot a 67, there'll be like a couple more really sweet shots to watch, but it's really not the main objective, is not the round of golf. This is it, dude. This is a great hole. Sheesh, that's nice.
Howling, baby.
It's pretty. That's a 3-putt Vogue. We're doing a lot of 3-putts, actually.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, good.
It's like sometimes, like when you're swinging and like you see your driver head like out the corner of your eye, you're like, uh-oh.
I've done too much. Damn, that driver only went 262.
Into the wind, exactly.
Yeah. That's gorgeous. I can't wait to do a shot finish on that. Yes, sir. All day.
Well, take it.
Well done, yeah. 3 wood. Nice.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't really matter what distance I play. My long clubs are the strength of my game right now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. It's the short stuff.
You're gonna shave 10 strokes off your game though. Like once you get the putter dialed,
which is why the lab putter, I always say, it's like playing safe for me. But I think I might have to go to it just so I can.
Yeah. I'm gonna just pull up to the side and walk across the green.
That's exactly how I like doing it too.
Yeah, get an idea what we're swinging at.
Love it.
Sit.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Get in the hole. Almost.
Yes, sir.
When I stepped to the ball, I'm like, I didn't have any thoughts. I looked up and I'm like, where am I hitting this thing? And then I moved my feet around
Sometimes it works out.
Yeah.
Your feel.
That's my favorite club. My 50 is my favorite club.
That's a great club to have as your favorite.
Yeah.
Really good.
I practice with that thing like crazy. Me and the 50. All right, for bird. Oh, never a doubt.
Got one
Going
back,
back.
baby.
A little bit of a, stop the bleeding. Maybe we can build some momentum off of this one. These par 5s have been giving us some...
Nice work. Nice to us.
Yeah, they've been giving us some strokes, and we'll take them.
Yes, we will.
That was good. It was a good driver. Beautiful 3-wood. Nice wedge. But it's a good recipe.
It's a great recipe.
Take that all day. That gets us back to under.
I think we're 2 under now. We got to 1 with the 2 bogeys.
Oh, we had 3 bogeys.
We had 3?
Yeah, we had 3 bogeys.
Oh, now we're back to under.
I tend to be pretty flexible with the strategy. Like I'll start the round and be like, I'm gonna hit cuts, and then you start hitting a lot of weird stuff. You're like, all right, well, that's what's happening right now. You gotta play what you feel like you can do.
See what you got going that day and try to feed into your strengths. It's when you try to keep doing the same stuff over and over.
When you keep trying to hit the straight drive, even though you
don't hit it straight.
Yeah. Given that you're a teacher, and somebody's probably taught you at some point, what's the best golf tip that you were able to apply to your game? And
So I'll give you kind of two answers. So one is the one that helped me personally.
yeah, okay.
And even now it's kind of two things. But the first thing that came to mind is swing hard. The fact that people who are playing professionally, men and women, they swing about as hard as they can. And there's a reason that it goes so far, even though if it looks effortless, they're swinging with some oomph to it.
Sure.
And I think in a way, it allows your bigger muscles to kind of take over so that you're not kind of fidgeting with the little ones that make the ball go left and right.
Right.
So I've actually found that the harder I swing, definitely with control involved as well, it actually goes straighter. The second part of that is also kind of finding the slot. And so what that is making sure that the club isn't coming from a forward position where you have to cut across just to get to the ball.
Right.
And that causes like a slice or a pull. And kind of finding something that can kind of start to come from behind in a more of a natural approach for the club head to get to the ball.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's really helped because it allows you to be a lot more neutral through it.
Yeah.
And then in terms of when I teach, the biggest thing that I find is a lot of people don't understand exactly how the clubs work. And so understanding the fact that there's some face rotation going on throughout the swing, and as well as depending where ball position is back and front, it affects ball flight as well as direction. Compounding with that, the fact that they should be hitting ball first, then the ground, and understanding how
That's
a divot is working, and that's just simple how an iron works, is the fact that the third or fourth groove from the bottom is the sweet spot, and the easier way to do it is to compress the ball and hit down. It's not just about the shaft lean, it's easier to hit that golf ball like that. And so I think understanding the low point and how to hit the clubs, I think is the biggest thing for a beginner to learn.
Totally.
And then after that, golf becomes simple if you can just take your club and hit the same part of the ground.
Yeah.
Then you just got to put the ball there and then play around direction.
Finding that low point, finding a consistent low point. Yeah.
I think
once you have that, you can kind of work with that.
Exactly. Yeah. Setup and backswing are just so big for things like that.
Just having the right setup.
Because right when you have someone that starts to get their weight on their front side, in my experience of teaching, that tends to get people to spin out and get it on the opposite foot.
And then they're back
Golf's
here.
also about making sure you have the right weight transfer, making sure that we're back and then we're through, and making sure we get through is big for where that club is bottoming out.
Right.
But then people hear that and want to speed up their hips, and then that gets their hips way too fast.
Right.
So there's a big balance, but making sure that we have some sort of pressure on our left foot and our mass is getting left, or for you right, obviously.
Right, to the lead,
that's really big, and understanding rotation.
That's where the power comes from too. Is like once you like really start to swing with your feet, you swing harder.
Oh, absolutely. That's effortless power right there. Yeah, I like to say there's 3 drivers for power in golf. There's hand speed, there's more turn, and then there's ground force.
Yeah.
And so ground force is a really easy way to get power, but it's also not the only way.
No,
so,
I've seen a lot of different swings.
Exactly.
I tend to get handsy with my swing. Like I want to do everything with my hands.
Me too, and I do. And I just kind of figured out how to do it.
Work,
Yeah.
I like this hole a lot. This is sick.
This is pretty sweet. Fits your shot shape.
Just don't hit that power line. All right.
Oh, Bubba.
Felt good. Come on. I lost it.
Oh, I see it. Oh, you're fine.
Yeah,
you caught a little in between the shadows out there.
All right. That felt money. That felt really good.
It sounded great. It's all right. We got you.
Bounce?
Yeah,
Did that bounce over the back there?
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
Bombs away. You hit a beauty. I want to see the swingman. What's it called? I'm drawing a blank. Swingman, right?
Trackman?
Trackman.
Yeah, any kind of launch monitor.
The swingman's the Walmart version.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trackman.
You want to see what my numbers are?
I want to see the spin numbers on that. That was just perfect. That looked like perfect launch.
So that's one thing that I'm very fortunate is I got a aftermarket shaft for the first time.
Oh.
And so
upgrade.
It's a $350 shaft with a $600 head.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky that they helped me out with that.
That's amazing.
And the stability at the tip's really what you're getting.
Yep.
And
which one is that? Is that a Ventus Black?
I do have a Ventus Black.
Yeah.
And so they have aftermarket shafts for everyone,
Uh-huh.
whether it's like the high launch players or for me the low launch players, I need a low launching shaft. It's made a good difference. I mean, again, I said it earlier, but like that shot, it was a little off the toe, and it was money.
It was like low spin, knuckly
Like
thing.
piercing, yeah.
It just flies through the wind or anything, cuts right through.
Oh my God, I mean, we're in another scoring opportunity.
I hit that far. That was good.
Yeah, you did.
I'm gonna check the distance on that bad boy.
Yeah, Arcos-ish.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, 290 guy. There's a 290 driver.
Woo!
Lovely. Hold it.
Just carry it.
Get them. Hell yeah. Dude,
Let's
the whole
go,
time.
baby.
I was tracking the entire time.
That was a good one. No divot either.
Huh?
Take care of the
Alright.
course. I have a lot of flaws, as I mentioned earlier, but there are some things that I do that make up for it. My rotation definitely helps. I release my arms and have a really good follow through on my swing. That really helps in terms of my start line.
So what are your weaknesses? What are the...
So
What are the parts
because I early extend and I lose all my shaft lean, I don't have as much control over my height. I always hit the ball too high.
So are you delivering like
If
a lot
you
of
were to
loss?
slow down, yeah, exactly. If you were to slow down my swing, I get here perfect, and then I start to
You flick
just
it.
like that.
I got you. So your
And then
trail
so
hand gets a little
the
happy.
bottom of the arc also comes into play, but I've just done it so much that I just kind of figured it out.
You want it? No, yeah, you go first.
Okay. Yeah. Deal.
We gotta snap into go mode too.
You got it. Birdie.
Bingo!
Sure. Good teamwork.
I love it.
Excellent. Bird. Just like that. Momentum.
Exactly.
We're rolling.
Exactly. The ebbs and flows.
See, like I think just having that awareness of momentum.
Once we had the conversation, it flipped again.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We pointed out, we say, hey, we're losing a little momentum. Let's not let this get away from
And
us.
it's not like we were active in terms of getting it back. It's just we made ourselves aware of it, and then
Yeah, and then we just focused on making one good shot, the shot in front of us, executing, and then doing it again.
it helps being 3 feet from the hole, though.
Yeah. Big target. That was a good birdie, man. That was not an easy hole. I'm not sure where we are. We're in our own little world right now.
We are, and that's the beauty of golf.
That's what it should be like, right?
That's how I like it. Uh-oh.
Little pull.
Yeah.
And you got a hold of that.
Oh, I wouldn't blame it on the wind. This is my favorite way to make par. Watch for the best par you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah. I have a 41% chance of green and red with 4 iron,
I love it.
according to Arcos.
According to
4 out of 10 times I'll hit this thing. You know. I don't know. It looked pretty good.
It did look like it was
It
right
depends
at
on how it kicked off the fairway. That felt really nice.
I could go 4 iron, 3 iron, or 5 wood.
Yes. Thanks, man. Money.
That's what we drew up.
Man, I love a good 3 iron. That's so cool. How do you like that thing?
It's pretty sweet. It feels a good gap for me. Versus trying to like take some off a 5 wood or add a little to a 4 iron.
Yeah. Ooh, sit. Oh my God. Not so far. I apologize. That was
No, this is good.
All right.
That is
Something,
awful.
something in between those two, I guess.
Awful.
That That was a really nice putt.
That's a
I don't know if
great
that really
putt.
deserved to bounce out like that.
It did not.
It kind of hit pretty solid. I wasn't that fast, was it?
I don't think so. And that was back of the cup too.
Yeah, that was nice.
Good putt. All right, back to even.
Those guys
This is
on
where
par.
we're going to 17.
Yeah.
And they're both par threes. They're par threes going opposite directions. That's
kinda neat.
That is really cool.
I haven't seen that design cue too often.
And then the other thing I want to touch on when it comes to mental health is there are band-aids for mental health. If you're having a bad day and you just turn on video games, that's a band-aid because it's taking your mind off it and putting dopamine in your brain, but it's not real.
Right.
And so understanding the root of my causes is the reason why I'm able to have this perspective.
Yeah.
Without it, it's just a band-aid and then it just pushes it back for another date. So understanding the core of your problems is really good, and having those outlets of those band-aids are really good for temporary, but you need, if you really want to succeed and feel good about yourself, it's all about finding those fixes so that you can feel comfortable in your own skin.
Got an up and down time. Are you like pretty much aiming to break 80 every time? Or are you trying to like get like as close as you can to par?
On the whites, probably. If I give myself some leeway, I'd say more break 83 or 82.
Okay.
Well, the difference between a 79 and an 80 or 81 is just so small.
Yeah, it's one made putt. It's one lip out. Yeah, and you know what it really is? It comes back to the being comfortable in uncomfortable situations, and something is eating away at you, right? And you're like, I want to distract myself with this little temporary dopamine boost, whatever, video games or, junk food or whatever. If you're avoiding the problem, the problem's never going to get solved.
Exactly.
And so, by being very okay with being uncomfortable and not chasing those comforts, you can sit with your mess and kind of observe it and go, okay, that's what the issue is. It's over there, instead of like the issue is this uncomfortable feeling that you have to run away from. And
Exactly.
Yeah, and having the self-awareness to go, this is me, right? This is something that is something I can control inside me, and then taking those steps. That's a whole other challenge, but the first step, and the step that everybody can do, is to do the self-reflection. Once you figure out what those problems are, what the traumas from your childhood that caused those things, then you can, take the next steps to find resources to help, whether it's therapy or,
Couldn't have said it better. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm a big proponent of therapy as well.
too.
If you are facing a challenge, somebody else may have the answer.
It's like a puzzle.
didn't
It's
expect
like
that.
sometimes you're looking
I
for that
thought
final
that
piece, but
was
you
it.
can't see it because you're so in the puzzle. If you get your buddy to kind of come in and look at it from a big perspective, it's like, oh, it's right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
And-
Yeah. And sometimes you're so in the middle of it, you can't see the thing. You can't see it from the bird's eye view. And so bringing somebody else in, like a therapist or even just a friend, just talking to your friends about your struggles.
Everyone's gone through something like this. Everyone.
And chances are we've all gone through, whether they're the exact same problems or whether they're the similar lessons that we've come to the same conclusions. Like, we're all part of this human experience. We're all on this floating rock, launching through space, and we all have a similar experience, despite how divided and different everybody thinks that we are.
Brain chemistry is the same for everyone, and so
for the most part, we're all made up of the same stuff, same cells, the same chemicals, maybe slightly different combinations, but for the most part, it's all the same. That was a good try.
Thanks.
That looked like it was going for it. And then it trickled out 8 feet.
Yeah.
Dude, it just comes back to the empathy.
Yeah.
And I think being more empathy, the better.
Yeah.
And you having gone through some struggles and recognizing those challenges and recognizing the lessons that work for you, you're able to help other people now. You're in a position now to, carry some weight in this community, and you definitely have the skills to do that, which is really cool. And I'm honestly excited just to see how positively you impact the lives that are in your life, because I really I'm impressed with your mindset about things.
Thank you.
And this show's all about finding like the right approach to life and golf, and you have a really good approach.
Oh,
That's rough.
the story of the back nine.
Double? Huh?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
5 iron, 50 degree, or 54 degree putt. That's a double. Ouchies. Hey, life is full of setbacks.
Yeah.
This is a setback.
Exactly. Like in the grand scheme of things, again, we're still on our way of making our goal.
Yeah. I mean, unless we quad bogey this one, we would need to quad bogey to not break our goal. That does get us to +1 on the day. So we were -1, double bogey, +1 now with 1 hole to go. I mean, it's adding up for a birdie, right? Let's do it.
That's where the mindset is.
Yeah, the game is setting us up for...
As the sun is kissing on the rolling hills in New Jersey.
Look at this. Beautiful sunset. We'll make a birdie, We'll hit a nice long iron into the green. It'll be delightful.
Exactly.
We can't have a great finish if it's just, all good.
Exactly. You need a little
diversity, dude. Diversity. It is fun. It's fun to do. It's.
I'm glad.
Fun.
I'm glad you're doing it.
Yeah. Thanks. Me too. I'm glad I'm doing it. I'm glad I'm doing it because I get to learn from everybody too. Like
that's how I got good so fast. Is like when I was going out before I was becoming a pro, I would ask everyone just their approach to the game. And the fact that like learning from that, even if it's like a 18 handicap or whatever, just being able to learn from that, just you learn the little things about golf that you don't learn like in a PGM program or things like that.
Right, totally, yeah. And like that's really the cool thing is like even golfers that aren't, like a scratch golfer,
technical.
Like breaking 80 all the time, like even they're good at, doing
they might be better
things.
at those shots out of the trees and you learn from them.
Right, they've got certain approaches, in their strategy and their club selection that can still translate. Even if they don't have the physical skills, tons of people know how to be strategic and, navigate their way around the course in a good way. So you can absolutely
could not agree more.
And that's like really what we're trying to do is finding the right approach. The name of the channel is called The Right Approach.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so it's the right approach to golf, it's the right approach to life. It's kind of a play on the approach shot, right? Like it's the second shot ends the approach shot. So it's like finding the right approach.
I like that a lot.
And there's more than one way to do it.
So many ways to do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit a bomb here.
Bombs away. That's it, all day. Man, that's so perfect. Lovely. If you're always trying to grow, as long as you're working on growth and that's your priority, it's not where you're getting to, but it's just the journey along.
And that's the fun part.
Yeah. And it's also, it makes it a lot more fun when you take the, the weight of execution out and you just go, I'm gonna try. And I'm either gonna succeed or I'm gonna learn. It's like, it's fun. It's fun when you succeed, and then it's also like fun when you're like, got it for next time.
Yes.
I definitely got it for next time. That's in some ways even more satisfying. I would love a chip in. That'd be sick. Oh, too thick.
We're showing some stellar golf.
Even closer. Okay, double bogey to finish. There it is. Great round.
So much fun, bro.
That was a blast. That was a bit of a struggle there at the end.
It was. But again, it shows how good golf can go and how bad golf can go.
Gives and takes. We were flying high on the front nine, and then golf humbled us a bit.
But it's really like we didn't play bad at all.
No, we hit a lot of good shots, and you know what? Just got a little trickier. The conditions got maybe a little tougher. A little extra wind there towards the end. Yeah, 75 with bogey, a double bogey, double bogey finish.
Yeah, exactly. So we
Don't be upset about that.
No,
That's
no,
hilarious. It's
not
actually
at all.
a hilarious.
Your prediction, how the whole thing about the format, or how we were gonna actually play it.
Right. That's awesome.
This was a great time.
I'm glad you had fun.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out.
Of course. No, thank you for having me. This is awesome. This was a great day. This one was awesome. I mean, from start to finish, every part of like whether it's a golf, getting here, hanging out with you, what the questions were about, what the theme of today was about. Yeah. It's been a pleasure this entire time.
That's good to hear. You had a good time, so
thank you. Good. Yeah, and the last thing I want to say is I'll tell the audience how we met. The reason that me and Alex know each other is just from being good people to random strangers.
Totally, literally.
It was literally, I was working in the pro shop, he was coming into golf, and that's how it started.
Yeah.
Just from him being positive when you walked in to me being positive when I greeted you and all that stuff.
I'm so glad.
It was literally, yeah, that's how all this came about. There was no like friends of friends or anything.
No.
There's no way I know Alex without this.
Right.
So it's all about just being nice and just trying to make someone's day better versus worse. And you have that in your control based on what impression you give off of people. And so that's how this started, and that's how it's going to continue.
Absolutely, man. That's great. And you know what? It's so cool that golf really did bring us together. And both of us having a positive energy is what made it happen.
Kept it together.
Literally, that's what made this happen. So, hell yeah,
My
man.
guy.
That is, come here, dude. What a great round. I mean,
So much fun.
What a great day, dude.
So much
Thank you
fun.
for coming out.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You did an excellent job.
I appreciate it. I'm glad I had some value. Yeah.
Dude.
You got what I was going for. I mean, it makes sense. And it's so funny because I was like, you want me to do this with you? Remember there's that day that like, I started doing this thing. I'm like, oh, it's sweet. Would you ever want me to do it? And you're like, oh my God, how did I not think of you?
This is actually, I'm shivering. Thank you for, coming through and dealing with the cold. It got chilly